The Battle of Uhud, a story of courage, obedience, and lessons. In the third year after the Muslims migrated to Madinah, a fierce battle took place on the slopes of Mount Uhud. This was no ordinary fight. It was a test of faith, obedience, and trust in Allah. The battle is remembered as one of the most significant events in the history of Islam, the Battle of Uhud. The story began a year after the Muslims achieved a major victory at the Battle of Badr. The Quraysh, the tribe ruling Makkah, were furious about their defeat. Driven by anger and a thirst for revenge, Abu Sufyan, one of the Quraysh leaders, gathered an army of 3,000 soldiers, including 200 horsemen, 300 camels, and a group of women led by Hind bint Utbah, the wife of Abu Sufyan. Hind and the women accompanied the army to encourage their men and remind them of their loved ones who had been killed at Badr. This massive army marched toward Medina with one clear goal: to destroy Islam and kill Prophet Muhammad. Peace and blessings be upon him. In Medina, Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, learned of the Quraysh's approach. He gathered his companions to discuss their response. Some suggested they stay in the city and defend it, but others, particularly the younger companions, wanted to confront the enemy outside Medina. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, agreed to their suggestion and decided to march out. The Muslim army consisted of 700 soldiers, including only 4 horsemen. Initially, the army had 1,000 men, but 300 hypocrites, led by Abdullah ibn Ubay, abandoned the army and returned to Medina, leaving the Muslims outnumbered. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, organized his forces, appointing brave leaders. Mundir ibn Amr, may Allah be pleased with him, commanded the left wing. Zubair ibn al-Awwam, may Allah be pleased with him, led the right wing. Musab ibn Umair, may Allah be pleased with him, headed the central infantry. To protect the rear, Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, positioned 50 archers on a small hill known as Jabal al-Rumah, the mountain of archers. He gave them strict instructions. Do not leave your position, no matter what happens. Stay here even if you see us winning or losing. The leader of the archers was Abdullah ibn Jubair, may Allah be pleased with him, who promised to obey the Prophet's command. When the two armies met at the foot of Mount Uhud, tension filled the air. The Muslims fought courageously, aiming to weaken the Quraysh by targeting their leaders. Brave warriors like Hamza ibn Abdul Muttalib, may Allah be pleased with him, known as the Lion of Allah, and Abu Dujana, may Allah be pleased with him, led the charge. Amid the chaos, Hamza, may Allah be pleased with him, was martyred by Washi ibn Harb, a skilled Abyssinian slave hired by Hind. Washi threw a spear that struck Hamza in the chest. Hind later mutilated Hamza's body in an act of rage, a devastating loss for the Muslims. Despite the loss of Hamza, the Muslim army gained the upper hand. Many Quraysh soldiers began to flee, abandoning their weapons and valuables. Victory seemed near. However, on the Hill of Archers, some companions saw the Quraysh retreating and believed the battle was over. They disobeyed the Prophet's command and left their posts to collect the spoils of war, despite Abdullah ibn Jubair's warnings. Only a handful of archers remained. This disobedience gave Khalid ibn al-Walid, a brilliant Quraysh commander, the opportunity he had been waiting for. He led a group of horsemen around the hill and launched a surprise attack on the Muslims from behind. Seeing this, the fleeing Quraysh soldiers regrouped and rejoined the fight. The Muslims, now surrounded, were thrown into chaos. During the confusion, some Quraysh soldiers targeted Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. A rock struck him, bruising his lip, chipping his tooth, and breaking his helmet. Blood ran down his blessed face as he prayed. O Allah, forgive my people, for they do not know. A brave companion, Musab ibn Umair, may Allah be pleased with him, fought valiantly to protect the Prophet. Resembling the Prophet in appearance, Musab was mistaken for him by the Quraysh and was martyred. This led to a rumor that the Prophet had been killed, causing many Muslims to lose hope and retreat. However, Ka'b ibn Malik, may Allah be pleased with him, spotted the Prophet and shouted, "Rejoice, O Muslims! The Prophet is alive!" The Muslims rallied around the Prophet, forming a protective circle of 30 companions. Realizing the dire situation, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, ordered his companions to retreat to the safety of Mount Uhud. Satisfied with their attack, the Quraysh did not pursue them further. The Muslims suffered heavy losses. 70 warriors were martyred, including beloved companions like Hamza and Musab. Despite this, the Quraysh failed to achieve their ultimate goal of destroying the Muslims or capturing Medina. The Battle of Uhud was a heartbreaking event, but it taught the Muslims valuable lessons. It was a reminder that victory comes only through obedience to Allah and His Messenger. The disobedience of the archers, though seemingly minor, had a significant impact on the battle's outcome. After the battle, the Quraysh sent a message threatening to return and finish what they had started. Despite his injuries, Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, gathered his companions and waited at Hamra al-Asad for 3 days, ready to face the Quraysh again. However, the Quraysh did not return, proving that their victory at Uhud was incomplete. Allah revealed verses in the Quran to console and guide the Muslims after Uhud. In Surah Al-Imran 139-143, Allah reminded them that trials and setbacks are part of life and a test of faith. Do not lose heart nor fall into despair. You shall triumph if you are true believers. The Battle of Uhud was more than just a historical event. It serves as a timeless lesson in steadfastness, obedience, and trust in Allah's plan. For Muslims today, it is a powerful reminder of the importance of unity, discipline, and unwavering faith in Allah. May we all draw inspiration from the sacrifices of the companions of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, and strive to remain steadfast in our own lives.